Okay, so I want to shift over a little bit to the work side of cybersecurity, cyber work, and I wanted to see if you have any career tips you can give to people who are looking to get into pen testing or red teaming or related careers. Are there particular skills or areas of interest that would be especially useful to have, especially in 2021 over other things?
Yeah, so when I look at the best security engineers, whether it's a security defender
Hmm.
or a offensive person, their core competency is they are world-class network engineers.
Hmm.
That is the common denominator. They are experts in networking. They are experts in network engineering. They've had network administrator roles at some point. That's what truly sets great security engineers and pen testers apart from others.
Hmm.
If you want to go past your OSCP certification, your offensive security certification program, which is a very difficult ethical hacking certification to get, it is very difficult for you to do that without already being an expert in network engineering.
Got it.
So that is the fundamental kind of core technical skill that you need. It's not that you need a degree in network engineering, but oftentimes you'll see those practitioners have multiple certificates and accreditations in the networking realm, and they've used that as their foundational knowledge. Now that is for infrastructure pen testing. That is separate from application pen testing. So if you want a pen test an application, that's a very different skill. You are a
Right.
developer more so than you are a network engineer.
Got it.
And as a developer, you're honestly you're a really good troubleshooter or a diagnostician, not a pure dev.
Hmm.
And so you've spent your time debugging software and debugging code, doing level 3 support. Those tend to be the skills that are the foundation from which to go off and train and learn how to do application security testing.
So I want to demystify a little bit red team and blue team as work. I think we always sort of imagine, oh, if I'm a red team, I'm out there. I'm going rogue. I'm breaking into everything. I'm throwing you know thumb drives all over the parking lot and what have you. And I kind of want to see if we can talk a little bit about some of the things that you should enjoy doing a lot when considering one job or the other, red team or blue team or some other related thing. Are there boring or repetitive or fine detail aspects of each that novices should know about before they take the plunge?
Yeah, it's an excellent question, right? So if you think about different phases of an attack, so the most fun is going to be, for some people at least, the extroverts, is the social engineering phase.
Right.
That is the write the phishing campaign email that says we think you've accessed adult material. Like
Yes.
that's actually fun. That's
Yeah.
more a psychological issue
Right.
or psychological skill set than it is a pen testing skill set. You're thinking about the human as the weakness and the various ways to affect that human. The simplest one is going to be, and you saw this by the way with those old Nigerian prince spam emails that
Right.
we would get
Right.
in the 90s and the 2000s, and you would read it and the grammar was off, all the words were misspelled.
Yep.
People don't realize that was actually done intentionally
I was just
because
going to say that I heard a podcast about that the other day, but please tell,
yeah,
tell our, tell our listeners.
it's fantastic, right? So the theory of the attacker at the time was a person educated enough or aware enough of the details to realize that this email is grammatically incorrect and there's tons of spelling errors are least likely to actually be duped into this scam. But those that reply despite the grammar and the spelling are more likely to be successful in being scammed. So they actually used poor English in their emails as a filter to figure out,
Right.
are you going to be successful in scamming this person or not? And then from there, they would do additional techniques, yeah, to weed them out. And eventually they were, a 2 to 3% success rate at 100 million,
It's,
sample size is a
it's
pretty
plenty.
decent number of folks.
Yeah.
Um, and and so that was kind of an interesting part. It was the psychological aspect, putting thumb drives in the parking lot. All it takes is one person to plug it in. In fact, there are books written about some of the biggest breaches in the Department of Defense back in the mid 2000s in Afghanistan were because supposedly a nation state had compromised all the thumb drives in all of the bazaars outside of a particular military base. And sure enough, eventually somebody went in, bought a thumb drive, and plugged it into their secret laptop, and that's how they were able to compromise the network. This was in I think Dark Territory was the book where they talk about this.
Okay.
And so All it takes is one person. So there's the social engineering side of red teaming that's much more about psychology. Once you get in, and an attacker will get in, it is inevitable. There's just too many doors and windows for an attacker to get into. Now you're getting into the network penetration testing side. That's where your network engineering expertise comes into play. And then from there, you're going to fingerprint a bunch of standard vendor software, Cisco switches and VMware environments and so on, for which there are exploits and misconfigs to go take advantage of. But you're also going to find custom applications. And that's where the application pen testing skill set comes into play. So it's how you tie those disciplines together into an end-to-end attack that I think is incredibly interesting and also very creative. Like you are, an offensive cyber operator, whether at a Five Eyes nation state or an adversarial nation state or a criminal organization. They have invested the time to master their craft.
Yes.
They are passionate and are the best in the world at what they do. And you can never underestimate an enemy that is investing to master their craft. Yeah. And I think that's one thing we've got to recognize is that we are at a disadvantage when you look at the amount of passion and expertise and horsepower there is in the attack side, and that the defenders stand no chance at the moment.
New episodes of the CyberWork podcast are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to check out our hands-on training series, CyberWork Applied. Each week, expert Infosec instructors teach you a new cybersecurity skill and show you how that skill applies to real-world scenarios. Go to infosecinstitute.com/learn to stay up to date on all things CyberWork.